Ladies and gentlemen, open mic night, and if we get callers, I already know I might be expecting one. Maybe I'll expect you. Who knows? Maybe I'll expect a few. If not, I'm just going to ramble my head off for as long as I can stand myself. Other than that, here's a new intro, because I picked it. Last show.
To what is inside of me, I'll never come back here again, I'll surrender. 'Cause I don't know that you hate me. Since the day I was born, you never loved me. You try to pull me down, hate me. 'Cause Father has chosen me, loved me. I never trusted you. My hands are tied, I don't know what to do. Why don't you leave us alone, cause we no longer help you. I saw on the news, see what you have done. Still ain't no solution, they bring you down. What's up, man? Wanting to get a job and try to live your life as a normal person. Brother, I love you through all my life, but you didn't answer to the questions why and how. I never wanted to tell me all about a mother and the blood I saw your knife. Hate me since the day I was born. You never loved me. You try to pull me down. Hate me 'cause Father has chosen me, loved me. I never trusted you. It's last time, I'll be back here again, won't surrender. 'Cause I know you can hate me. Since the day I was born, you never loved me. You try to pull me down, hate me. 'Cause Father has chosen me, loved me. I never trusted you. Hate me, hate me, hate me.
Intro for this show, man. It is so last voice of liberty. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in, we're live, we're ready. And we're ready to do this. So I tagged myself. I guess I did. Alright, so we're ready to roll, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the open mic, but I guess if there's no one here to chime in, it's going to be me tonight. So, I want to inform people on Facebook that I was telling everyone this morning that I was planning on doing a, kind of a free promotional DVD thing, like 2-disc set thing. And I want to show it to the network owner first, but I figured it would take too much time to try to get it to them. So I figured I had to start another YouTube just to make that shit happen. Went through a little bit of hoot and haul, but it got through. Had to edit the second tape. You know, we'll call it tapes because it's 80s talk. Like that matters in 2017, eh? Yeah, well. I had to edit it, make it so, and set up the second one to make the first one make sense. I'm not going to spoil it and misunderstand it, but basically it's a compilation of all E-Psych stuff since I've been a part of the network, and some stuff I've done with other people. The second video, again, makes the first one make equal sense to the second. It all amplifies why we are the last voice of liberty and why we all help each other. Now, it's an E-Psych radio promo, but I don't leave out the fact that it's last voice of liberty that gives me the propelling ability to have the ability and the platform that I have. So I'm forever not leaving out the labels of why freedom is important and why last voice of liberty has really, so far as it stands and has continued to stand with me and as I with them. So when you see it, you know it, you can't miss it. So that will speak for itself. I posted it on my network owner's wall. My co-host, Spent Kent, so far liked the first video, but he's currently working at the moment. He's at work at the moment, so right now, I also posted them both on my wall, just so that people could have access. But it's just a showing of mixture of radio and how much time I took. And basically the first video took a lot of time to make, because I was using all my basic knowledge that I didn't even realize could be projected in such an awesome art. The first one's definitely always better than the second, you gotta admit. It's just like doing movies. When you see the first one, you're like, oh my god, the second one can either be really good or really bad. So when you see the first one, how just credits after every set. So the way I did the credits, how did you manage credits when you work by yourself? Well, I'm quite crafty like that, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. If it got Spent Ken's attention, you know I didn't do that bad. I didn't cash in on much. So, well, the co-host liked it, so it was enough to say, alright, I didn't do bad. Maybe this will make the network better as far as getting more noticing of what we can do to help each other. Take what people would think are the not so great in the world, and this is how we can do, this is what we can do for you. So you can be taken seriously. And understand that, yes, this is the spot for you. You won't get it any better than this. There is no better than Last Voice of Liberty Network. This is the network. Forget the fact that you may not like what you hear. Just remember that that's the First Amendment. And this is why you live in the damn free country that you live in, somewhat, sort of. So let's just not forget that when you live in this country, you're hanging on a thread now. You really are, more now than any decade there ever was. I mean, Slayer wrote an album called Decade of Aggression, which was based off of the first Gulf War. I guess you could call this shit the Age of Apocalypse without the fucking superheroes. I mean, who needs the heroes and villains when you got the fucking movies advertising this shit? Got the Four Horsemen up in there. I still ain't even seen it. I'm like, I already read the freaking comics as a kid. I mean, I got my mom's friends still asking me, yo, have you seen that yet? No! I filled my head with so much of that garbage when I was a kid. I'm trying to get myself into truthful stuff now, man. What do I want to go to a movie for, or buy a movie from Walmart for? I can barely keep the dollars I got that barely are worth anything in the pocket that I got. The pants are out there. I'm lucky, hang on to me. So no! I'm not that interested. Not that I'm trying to be, I don't say that to them. I'm not trying to be a dick to nobody, but at the same time, I'm trying to get a grip on my 36 years. You know, it's time. You know, it's been past time. I'm upstairs. It's really not an attic. I've always called it an attic because that's all you've ever been used to calling it. Really, what I'm living in is a loft. I'm just going to be honest. I lived in an attic in Ferndale. And how is it different than there and now? Well, Ferndale, you can barely walk in the fucking place without crawling on all fours. At least when you go upstairs in this place, you can walk in it like it's a room. Because it is. So, your head don't touch the ceiling while trying to bend over and now hit the lamp. The light bulb on the ceiling when you walk in. This is not the place I live in now. No, that was Ferndale. Okay? That was an attic. That was a cardboard blocks on the 3rd floor now. No, I'm living a lot better than that now. So I'm not living in an attic. So I'm just out of respect for the people. This is for the peeps, like my mom, my friend, and where I'm living at. I got too comfortable with that word. It's been brought to my attention. It's been addressed to me. So now I'm like, all right, I gotta set the record straight. Attic was Ferndale. I don't live in Ferndale no more. I live in a loft now. And you know what? It's a better place as far as how I live here. You know, it's got plenty more room. I love it. You know, so when things happen, you always figure, you know, you want to leave. But when you realize, ain't no place like home, it's only because I don't want to wear no glass red whatever slippers and click my heel and fall on my feet. Some glass underneath my soul to realize, I fucked up, man! No. I'm just trying to let people know. Wisdom doesn't always come with age. Wisdom comes because you want to embrace it. Wisdom comes with truth. And if you don't accept it while you're young, you could end up in worse. I'm just glad I hadn't got there. So, telling the truth can get you landed in some serious spots. Get you killed in China for speaking the Bible. Just saying. But it's just a matter of where do you stand morally, ethically, and most of all, where do you stand as a human being? Just being loving to people. So now, back to the subject matters at hand. This past Sunday, Kent and I were talking about everything from Ron Paul to Bernie Sanders and what was the possible situation. What's going to kick off after Easter? Well, I'm not going to joke around, man. I slept all day yesterday. I didn't want to find out shit. And today, I've been working on my compilation. You know, making the thing happen so I can get it released and see how this is going to go. So I haven't really been keeping up with the politics. So open mic means, if you want to call and say something, you know, some of you that got the number, you know the number, call. But one thing I want to address to you is, I don't see how, I mean, Trump's really going at it, man. I mean, my friend downstairs now, he's a big time liberal. You know, he's going to give me a liberal point of view no matter what. So, I just listen to him and hear what he got to say, because it's always something interesting. Yeah, but you can say the same thing about them fucking conservatives. So, I don't got nothing different to say about one or the other. So, he said I forgot what he said. Like, it was one of those countries in the Middle East, I think it was Turkey or something, where they shut off free speech or something. He said they did that. And Trump was praising them. I don't know how true it is. I didn't fact check it. So I can't speak for it personally, or whether or not that liberal source he got it from was even telling the truth. But maybe it's something you might want to look into, because I don't even know that happened. I slept the day before and worked on a project all damn day, so I don't even know what the hell's going on in the world. But one thing I do know is this. It's like my great-grandma always said. Actually, no, it was my grandma, my mother's mother. Jane Shaw said it best. Never become too fond of evil, because evil will become fond of you. Now, take it from someone who understands that and can then take this into its context very much well, as some of you may understand it very well. It's hard to not be fond of evil in a very evil society. Being not fond of evil, when we live in a country, we embrace horror flicks. Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 7, and knick-knack, paddywhack, chuck that bitch up a bone. We love this shit. If we had our way, God forbid that ever comes our way, we'd have like what George Carlin been talking about, public executions like MXC theater shit. You know, catapults of people on fires and buildings and shit. That kind of skit he talked about. It would be execution TV shit. You know, put the pedos in one ring, put the God knows what in the other ring, and have them just go at it with chainsaws, pitchforks, and bonfire and gabaroomba. Well, I think it would just exceed the limit below the average of the Georgia Guidestones. But this is what we glory when we watch this shit. You know, hey man, you like horror flicks? Alright, fine. You like Walking Dead? Fine. But I think that shit's just downright disgusting. I can't help it, man. People can say I live disgusting. The day I start walking like a zombie and literally be a zombie and lifeless, I hope I got enough common sense to jump out the fucking window and kill myself. Because I don't even want to picture myself being so creepy. Just hurting somebody and eating their brain and shit. Nah, fuck that. Nah, that is disgusting. Being some ghoul driving a tractor or a lawnmower over somebody in a hockey or whatever football field kind of shit. People laugh at that shit. It's disgusting. But when buildings fall and temples blow, where's God? Dude, I don't know about you, but if I were him, I wouldn't say to my kid back here twice. We'll be right back. I just had to throw that there. I'm just gonna play a song.
To the sea of dreams that I have so often heard about and only just now begin to understand. And you asked me if I had just one wish, what would it be? And for today I answered to stay in this reality. Yeah, with you, the freedom of youth, huh? 'Cause in you I see many things. You thought I was just gonna be a one-night stand, but then you saw in me more. And I was surprised that you were surprised. For the love of you. For the love of you.
Well, I can tell you right now, there are some things in this world that goes on that just, how can we call ourselves a moral society? Can we just ask ourselves that, let alone a Christian nation? Can we just throw some common sense questions from the redneck part of society for a minute that might make some sense to the rest of the world? When former President Obama said we're not a Christian nation, was he lying? Can we just say he didn't need a teleprompter because there was no need for a goddamn teleprompter for that shit? Heck, I think when a person's born with they have sin naturally inside in the year, oh shit, it was still the 21st century. Oh my lord, I think your common sense states to know there ain't no such thing as Christian nation in the free nation of America where, oh my goodness, wait a minute. You kill babies, it's human health care. Oh wait, human or women? I think it's only a fetus if it's not valued. But if you kill a spider on the ceiling, oh boy, you might just piss off your girlfriend. She just wanted you to chuck the motherfucker outside. Wait, debate? No, the fucking spider, dude. Like, you try to tell her she can't have an abortion, baby. Oh, the heated ego. The values we think we have but don't. But if some redneck bald eagle that can't fly living in some attic points this shit out, is he a redneck? No, are you stupid? I don't know what's moral and what's not. But I'll tell you right now, some doctors think I'm crazy just for the fact that I'm daring to bring this shit up. Well, if I was getting paid, my 501(c) would have been thrown out of here. Since 2013, my tires would have been stopped. But I do recall the 2013 reason why, by the third time I sent my check back, they locked me up, that and all that other shit I ain't never did. Holy matrimonies. Oh, Heavenly Father, like an old neighbor of mine said on Champion. How you doing, brother? I'm just leaving his name out because I don't think he'd want me to do that to him. But he's mad cool. But, yeah. What's up, Anthony? The king of Champlain Avenue, y'all. You know I wasn't leaving your butt out, buddy. How's everybody doing over there in Champlain? If they don't get heard the first time, it's archived so everybody knows you. Cheers! Oh, if I don't end up in jail, it's only because I wasn't there yet this morning. Oh, I gotta play some music now, because I'm acting stupid and a dumbfounded mouse and a fucktard rat shit in God knows where, hell and nowhere. What the fuck did I just say? I don't know, but I've been taking my meds, and I just think if I'm not getting better, I'm getting wilder. Well, on that note, fuck the music. I'm gonna keep on talking. I'm talking until Springer cuts me off. But yeah, I think it's important to know that all of the retardation aside, leave the white jokes out, people. Thank you. I'm talking to you white people. Goddamn firm. Goddamn politicians. You fucking pastors, those white churches, you. How dare you make fun of us? But anyway, so, I'm just talking about white people when I say that. You make fun of too many people that brought your ass into power. Yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot of reasons to be upset. But I think the ultimate goal of this all is solutions. How many people have solutions? We always want to raise the attention to solutions, but this world, face it, everybody says, what's the solution? Well, here's the answer. The world's so goddamn fucked here, you can't pick a solution faster to patch a wall on a fucking ceiling when the rain be pouring in the house in a thunderstorm. That's how messed up this world is. You can't fix a toilet when the sprinkler system won't let you see behind your eyes. I'm just telling you. You try to fix a problem, When you got multiple bullshit, that's why houses have crews work on the fuckers. You can't fix an entire wreck sometimes without a crew working for you. But when it's taken us from the year 1776 all the way down to 2017, how the fuck did I get here, God? Kind of shit. And what's the solution? I know 2 or 3 possible groups of individuals might say what the cancer was. If Native Americans and black people and Latinos can't all say white people at the same damn time, because I started that. It's because I know it to be true too. Problem is, I'm not one of those 1% motherfuckers. I know it was an issue. They started it. Ancestries before us did the shit, and no one wants to point out that that was the first of it all. And if I'm a white man, I can say, yeah, that was a problem, and that's been a problem. But let's work on the progress of how it gets fixed. Because we have to fix it. Because color, I was watching this video. I pulled it up from YouTube. Color, as far as what it really appears to an elitist, it was this it was this guy, I forgot his name, but I have it on my Facebook. I have to pull it up another day and tell you about it. But this guy was teaching at a conference, right? Things like black, white, and all this other stuff that they use is color is a state, like a label not meant for a race. It's a you know how we have now it's called a green card for a card to get you in and out of the country? Well, that's pretty much what color is to the individual. Everywhere. Are you aware? Another thing I want to bring up regarding that. In China, a class of if you're a poor person in China, even though there's Chinese that look just like the other, certain Chinese people that are of a certain class of wealth or non-wealth, the poorest wealth in China would be considered black. Like black to us. So race is not the equation. That's a brain fuck. We've been brain fucked through countless generational curses of our country and through history to believe that color is not the illusion, that people are not people. We've been brain fucked into believing the opposite. That there's no such thing as, well, oh wait, they're black, I'm white. That's different. No! Here's what he stated, what I have believed for a while. You're human beings. We are all human beings. Whether you be white, black, Latino, as far as the part of the world that you originate. But as far as the color of one's skin, that's a label, like a medication bottle. It's a bad label. But history has taught us that. It's the wrong thing to teach any civilization worldwide. Every civilization that has been taught this way, that color is a race, is a deception. And this guy spent countless time really proving his point. I'm going to find this video real quick because I want to share some of it with you. This guy really knew and really does know everything that he's saying. So much to the point that I have no less time but to share this aspect of this video. Because this guy is hard to the core in everything he taught, everything he teaches, everything he believed. I was right on point with what this guy was saying. This guy was I think this guy's awesome. Now, I'm going to show you, as far as the audio, what this guy has to say. There's nothing wrong with what he said, as far as how much he loved people and how much he really went to educate the masses at the summit he was teaching at. The fact that he put himself to teach people the way he did, this guy has heart. Now, I got respect for people who have heart to just go out there and teach like that. Now, I want to also break to you, there's a second video I posted where they try to make it sound like that these two other people that punked him or something, like held him to his feet or something. I'll have to find it. But yeah, there's something in this that says, oh, he held him at his word or something. Listen, I can tell you right now. Oh, put him on the spot. Listen, this guy is an awesome individual. He didn't hold him on the spot. What this guy did that was being caught, because his sidekick that was trying to hold him on the spot couldn't hold him down at all. And after a while, I do believe this Dr. Taj Turk Bey got so tired of arguing, like debating these guys, that he just left. He humbly left, because why is he going to constantly argue with these guys? He already went at it with the idiot. So when he got tired of debating with him, he just walks away from him in the second video. It says Dr. Reggie puts Taj Turk Bey on the spot. Listen, what I saw was something different. He turned around and just left. Because one, they're wearing heavy coats, so I anticipate the time that this was taken, it was pretty cold out there. And even if it wasn't, I just think he got tired of going into it with him, and that's all I saw. I saw a highly intelligent man get sick and tired of debating with people that just won't listen. So if people aren't going to listen to you, why are you going to argue? Common sense, I saw that. So we're just going to play a little of this. Now this goes into a lot of what I've said for a while, but listen carefully. I'm going to fast forward to this.
Took me to a library. All Moors must have libraries in their house. He had a library in his house. The first word he told me to look up was Indian, and tore the word apart. The word Indian meant indigo, which meant dark people. I was like, oh, wait a minute. You mean it? You know, this is the teaching. Studied under his brother for 3 years before I met him. And I kept saying, I want to meet him. He said, you're not ready. This is what he said to me. You're not ready. 3 years. I was going out, challenging cops the whole 9 yards. This is what I was doing, because I was arrogant at the time, because I got the information. But it was 3 years I studied. And he took me to Camden, New Jersey, where we used to have classes Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays. Every week. He took me there, and I met this brother. I was dumbfounded, like, yo, I was like, wait a minute, like, really? You know, but they made you feel comfortable there. You know what I mean? It made you feel comfortable. And from that point on, I've been rolling with this brother right here. I said, yo, you need to be heard worldwide. And that I got my chance to do radio, I brought him on. Everything that I do, I brought this brother in for the past 15 years. And thanks to Brother Kamar Gabriel and Brother Todd Taribe, because he remembered my son was 1 year old. My son is 16 now, actually. But ever since then, I've been bringing this brother around every chance I have. But listen, y'all, stand to your feet, because y'all on actually an educational and informational journey. Let's give it up for my brother, my teacher, my living legend, Brother Taj Tariq Bey in California. Come right. I'm telling you, that's all I'm going to tell you right now. If you up to challenge him, you will lose. I'm going to tell you this. You will lose. So grab a pen, piece of paper, get your notes, get to work. Cross your T's, and dot your I's. Get to work. Because he may go over your heads. I'm the kind of guy to bring it down here, but he's up here. But follow me. What we're going to do today is real quick for those.
If you don't mind, I'm going to use since I'm not getting any conversation format, I'm going to use the rest of my time to promote this video. Because the educational aspect of it is important. East Radio. Take it away.
We know that COINTELPRO operations are in order at all times. Any Asiatic African organizations that set up to begin to free or liberate people, they will always have infiltration. So don't be surprised. All right? I want to make a couple of notes to prepare you for the connections that we're going to make. Take notes because I'm going to connect you back to the estate, because there's a lot of things that you need to be doing, particularly last year. But let's jump ahead a little bit. I want you to write this down anyway. House Joint Resolution 2847. And this is where the United States Corporation, the religious corporation of the United States Company, which is not the land, understand, it's a private religious organization belonging to the popes of Rome. They're going to be stealing all your bank accounts because the worlds are turning in all of their T-bonds. Do you understand? And so you're going to have to learn a little bit about estate because you lost your estate. So you're going to have to learn law, international law, to begin to protect yourselves and your families. The land you're standing on is Morocco. This is the flag that's been on this land over 70,000 years. From ancient Amexem, central old Africa is old Amexem. That's the Yucatan area, and is referred to by the sociologists as Old Mech. So I want you to write this down so that for anyone who thinks they can challenge this information, it's available. And all scholars know this stuff. But understand, sometimes when people get caught into paths and they find out certain information, they're limited or they have a reluctance to reveal that information because it proves them as being frauds right along with the European. Do you understand? Just like, for instance, the paradigm. How many people know Carlos Linné? Carlos Linné. He's referred to in history as Carl Linnaeus. He is one of the Maltas that set up the code system for the phenotypes that is used today. This is where those overseer scholars get this black-white paradigm from. That's totally fictitious. It's for servitude. Are we clear? For instance, like when our people agree to be black people, they come under the Christian black codes that were set up in 1868 when they closed the Freedmen's Bureau. That's an agreement, and those codes apply. That's where your abuse comes from, because there's no such people. It's a code system for Christian property. The human beings aren't crayons, but some adults have difficulty handling that. But that's the truth. So we're going to deal with some history. We're going to deal with law. Understand that law and history goes together. Law and history goes together. All scholars know this fact. But keep in mind that when you're dealing with what you call truths, political truths on the human condition, it has a tendency not to generate a lot of finance for the pockets of the leader guys. And so they have a tendency to suppress that kind of history because it can't be sold. It's birthright issues. Do you understand? And so they usually will sell you things that get you emotionally charged and where they can collect finance but cure nothing. Are we clear? So we're going to talk about some things today that you can use when you start getting in trouble, like when the Inquisitionists come after you. Under the Spanish Inquisition, with Torquemada and the rest, for the collections of the tithing for the Roman army, it is called the Inquisition Revenue Services. It was set up, solidified in a corporate entity by Woodrow Wilson to counter Noble Drali in 1913 to 1916, and as the Federal Reserve, and the Internal Revenue Services is really the Inquisition Revenue Services. Is a tax for the popes of Rome. The 1040 form that they have you sign or set up during the entry of Astarte, that's the entry of the crescent and the star when the Venus and the moon comes into the eastern sky. They call it East Star. The star is now in the east. During that time, you got to pay the queen. And so the 1040 that you've been signing, that so-called tax for the Internal Revenue Service, 40% goes to the Queen of England, 60% goes to Rome. Not a penny goes to your children, not a penny goes to your streets. That's why you're broke. And it has nothing to do with the republic that was set up by the Moors and some Europeans to stop the wars between the Christians and the Muslims, which is really what the United States Republic actually is, the beacon light that was set up by agreement to stop the hundreds of years of wars between the Moors and the Christians. That's your connection to this said government. Are we clear? North America, Central America is Moors and Mexicans. We're to the north. Mexico is to the south. They're your family. Do you understand? The only alien here is Europeans.
Oh, man.
No, you got to get that straight.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I got to pause that.
Don't reject people. Don't make them feel bad, but don't let them play that.
He wasn't being insulting. I just want the public to know he was not being insulting with that statement. You heard what he said right after that. Don't make them feel bad. You heard what he said right after that. He's not a racist by any means. He's trying to bring back the understanding of where we have fallen with our knowledge, our wisdom, the way we pick up the pace. This guy's someone to listen to. I hope the public is getting this. He was not being insulting. He's saying, don't make them feel bad. Continue.
Gain with you that your family is aliens. And so when they start calling your brothers and sisters aliens, you correct them on the spot. Because when they steal their birthright, they're stealing your birthright. Do you understand? So welcome to Mexico. Welcome to Queen Khalifa's territory, because it was named after Queen Khalifa. She was a Moabite queen. She ruled this whole area. She was actually one of the last of the ones of the fighters to die from the empire. Yes. So you got to really know your real history. And then a lot of Asiatics know this, but if they tell that real history, they can't keep on promoting the diaspora, which is partly fiction, because they didn't bring us from anywhere. We were already here. We were here for thousands of years. You know, and of course all the land or the earth we call Asia. This is why you're referred to as Asiatics. And everybody knows that, but that kind of spoils the game that they've been playing on our people. You see the point? Because they've structured history in such a way to distort history that even in the quest of getting out of the European jurisdiction, they've told more lies. And then once they're caught, they don't want to back up and clean this mess up. But in real law, you can't lie and get something positive out of it. All it does is give the European an excuse for mandate. This is why the Europeans still ruling, because we're full of doo-doo. No, it's true, and people, you know, we have limited courage to just tell the truth and recognize that all of the problems of humanity is not just the Europeans' fault. It's also our fault for violating our own law, for violating our own principles. You know what I mean? And so we fell. So you need to know the real history so that you must rise where you fell. And you must rise with honor. So you must come into this knowledge with love and not hate. Does not mean that you're supposed to let somebody kick your butt. But don't come in this thing with hate because you're not innocent. You understand what I'm saying to you? And so while the Europeans under the Pope and the Hasidic, who claim to be Jews or not Jews, there's no such thing as Jew. It's Yahudi. We're Yahudi. You understand? Jay didn't come into the language till the 1500s. You know, so we are the ones who crossed the river anciently from the ancient pharaohs of Hikupta. And those of us who cross the river are falsely referred to as Jews. People are confused when they go into the Bible and stuff like that and think it's a different people. We're the same people. It's the same family. It ain't different people. You know, and now the sociologists call us Semitic. That's a term that was made by German sociologists. It's not original, but that is in reference to Asiatic African peoples of the Nile Valley and out. Do you understand? So when they start calling you anti-Semitic, this ain't you against yourself. So, you know, so I mean that's to remove the confusion. And understand that the Romans, the Europeans who call themselves Jews, are most of the Europeans that took over the Yetta. That's the areas, the wealthy areas in Europe that the Moors ruled before the Romans ran the Moors out of Europe on 1492 with the Pontifex of 1492 and Inter Terra Divina 1493, which makes the policies of the politics of the planet Earth today. The enforcement of those bullets from the church are enforced by what is known as the Secret Treaty of Verona, which you can find in your congressional records. Write that down. Secret Treaty of Verona. This is the basis of the interior overthrow of the republic and the setup of the demos system referred to as a democracy in 1933 with Skull and Bones member Lyndon Baines Johnson, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, to put a capstone on what Wilson did in 1913, which was also done by certain traders in 1871 when they turned the republic into a corporation in order to put the Moors later, as they did earlier, solidify the 14th Amendment artificial person in the state of Delaware as Christian property. This is why such persons is called Negro, Black, and Coloreds, and what do they call themselves this week, can't vote with them names that don't belong to them, except that the overseer, or what you call the CEO, through the Senate, agrees that their cattle can vote as 3/5 persons because they have no name and nationality. when you understand the history from a law perspective, your view will change from it just being some historical flaw or some little dirty trick that the Europeans do. You would need to understand its political ramifications. If you transact business in another man's name, don't talk about estates and don't talk about property because you don't even own your own body. And this is where, under the Christian Black Codes, where they set up where the marriage license is registered in the Department of Commerce, then registered in the Department of Orphans, and this is where your children, even before they're born, become wards of the state, which is a legal term for nice slave. And see, nobody's offended because they know that most of our people don't read law, and so they just hear the word and it's interesting, you know. And then the scholars ain't going to tell them because they playing this black game. You understand? When they know these people aren't black. I want you to write down black, and I want you to go into Oxford Dictionary. And I'm going to show you why they don't have hardcover Oxford dictionaries in communities where persons of color exist. Because they want you to think it's an identity. Color means actually artificial person, means a fake. Singularicum, as distinguished from that which is real. So they need promoters to make you think it's real, to take you out of the human family. Now you come under the black codes. This is where your abuses come from legally. Because it's an agreement. Because every man, woman, and child must honor their mothers and fathers. You're no different. We like to think we are, but you're really not different. Now, this is American Heritage Dictionary. You also must have this. Now, this is makes for the babies too. You want American Heritage Dictionary on the English language. Of the English language, this is one of the standards. Don't start doing them paperback books. Just stop. Don't even go there. You know what I mean? And don't hesitate to stop at flea markets, old books. Don't let the people talk about, you know, them old books that your grandmom had. Throw them out because we don't get the new ones. No, don't throw them out. It's where the knowledge is. You understand? You want at least 13 dictionaries in your library, minimally. Of course you have more, but minimally. So you want etymology on the English language, Oxford's dictionary. All scholars have Oxfords. Are we clear? And you got to remember that all your major institutions and universities in Europe were actually built by Moors. This is why all of your rulers in secret are Masons and wear a Moorish fez while pretending not knowing who the Moors are. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And all your Christian ministers, 99% of them are 32 and 33 degree Masons, got a Moorish fez. And in secret in their rituals, they, how they say, what is Jesus' favorite statement? How did Jesus greet the people? He spoke Aramaic. He says, Assalamu alaikum. That means peace be unto you. But then if they told him that, they got to tell them the rest of the history and why one of the first lessons they get in all secret societies is Ruth the Moabitess, his great-great-grandmother. Because Moabite is the ancient name for the Moors, who are the people today, got hair like lamb's wool, skin like burnished brass, that think human beings are crayons, unfortunately. So we have this kind of problem with our people not knowing who they are. And it's fine on one level from an intellectual perspective. Problem is that they're not aware of the legal ramifications. Sis, can you come up for me, please? You notice that look? Who, me? You talking to me? Yes, sis, please. And bring the child with you. Now this is just an American Heritage Dictionary. But I want to show you, I'm going to reconnect you. When I say reconnect, because we're talking political, real estate, real property, estate law, and preserving your wealth, as well as reclaiming your estate, right? Now I want to show you all how simple this stuff is before we get into the law and reconnect you, right? Because we want everybody to leave here tonight with something that you can work with politically. If you have any issues in courts or if the IRS is trying to steal your estate, the information I'm going to give you at least should give you something to work with that. And then you can work with some more stuff later on. But let's ground you. Let's get you with something you can work with, all right? Because the deal of it is, what they steal from you, if you can put it back to your family, you can start building your economics, because that's where they're robbing us, all right? So, now let's talk about this. Get Mike. You're very young. However, you are like more or less my age. It's common for us to hear this phrase, don't worry about their children. They will never compete because they can't read. And those who can, won't. You know why they say that? Because we don't read. And not because we can't read, is because we've been trained under the Inquisition operations to shun literature because all Asiatic Africans, by culture, had a library in their house like you have a kitchen. That culture, the Europeans successfully killed it. And this is where the Europeans were burning books for over 300 years under the Spanish Inquisition to kill Moorish culture. This is why they created the brand system of Negro, Black, Colored, Indian, etc., and then put overseers amongst us to keep pushing that paradigm to remove us from the inherited estate. Because without the honor of your mothers and fathers, you have no inheritance. Now, we're going to take an ordinary dictionary because we already know there's a lot of scholars who will sit up and say, act like this is a belief system, right? They don't fear us because they know that most of the time when people present us with information, we don't challenge it, we don't read, and we don't know how to deal with the etymon. You know what the etymon is? Yeah. All right. Now, listen. The etymon is to words, language, across the planet, what Adam is to everything that is built. Are we clear? Oh, that's so sweet. Don't that just make you feel good? Anyway, come on up here, sis. Yes. Yes. Anyway, what now? Myself and these babies, right, come from that ankh. When you see that ankh, also referred to as a system, is the uterus, fallopian tubes, birth canal, the Holy Cross, Stargate. No one gets here but through her. This is why all ancient deities are female, because it's just the truth. It has nothing to do with what everybody makes up later for some political gain. But anyway, babies, this is the etymon principle. Like you can take, and because we're dealing with the egg or the ovum of words, that's the seed of a word, is the etymon. All right? The etymon is the seed, ovum, egg of a word. All right? It is used across language around the world by all scholars except those who are paid off. Will not reveal it to their believer degrees. I mean, believers don't get this information, just adepts. Adepts, whether you're dealing with Skull and Bones, Knights Templars, Knights of Columbus, Eastern Stars, Daughters of Isis, Kyklos, Ku Klux Klan, Union Guard, White Camellia, Skull and Bones, anyone in your mystic degrees, all of them, don't get it twisted, just because they're in Islam or Christianity or Judaism, they're all Kabbalists. Are we clear? And all of them know what that Kaaba is in Mecca. All of them do. And we ain't talking about the evils that people do in the name of religion. We're talking about the science that is the true cosmology, Kabbalistic yoga philosophies that comprises religion across the planet. Are we clear? That's where your imams, your rabbis, your ministers, your sheiks, your grand sheiks, your Skull and Bones members, etc., all of them are Kabbalists. Are we clear? All of them are adepts. Are we clear? Because they're dirty and very few of them are clean, they've created these things that you know as sects. S-E-C-T-S. And those are those little package games they made to divide people against each other in the name of religion when the masses don't get religion. Are we clear? Give you another key. And I challenge you to challenge it. Spirit and spirituality means breath and the art of breathing and nothing else. And all priests know that. Spirit and spirituality is breath, the art of breath, learning to breathe to prepare yourselves to receive the electrical charges from the Akashic records that exist in nature that connects you to the higher mind, which is religion. Are we clear? Now, I'm telling you that to keep this stuff simple so that you can challenge it, because I know it makes people get upset because they think you're attacking their beliefs. Beliefs are for children, otters, and animals and imbeciles. Faith are when they grow up a little bit more, and fruition is the degree that you're supposed to be on, but most of you never heard of it because the priesthood don't give it to you. So I'm just telling you so that you understand what them three candlesticks represent around the square altar in ancient Hikupta that you call Egypt, that is preserved all over the world. Belief, faith, fruition. It's reflection, neophyte, scholar, and master. And all of your priesthood got the third light or the third rock from the sun. Your pyramid, which is the triune Allah or all universal law. Are we clear? When you go into language across the planet, all scholars, all priests are trained in etymology and are taught the rule of the etymon. All PhDs have it. All Europeans in their pristine schools get it, but you don't get it in your schools. Now, when you go in the Moorish Science Temple of America and go in the adept chamber, you get the adept degree. You get adeptus degree. Are we clear? You already set it up for this information to be taken to the four corners of the world, to all nations. Unfortunately, J. Edgar Hoover and Calvin Coolidge saw different and infiltrated. This is why we have difficulties setting up schools, which should be in every temple. So when you have a Moorish Science Temple, do the best that you can to support your temple in your area, because those are regencies. You must protect them, even though some of them may not be run right, because you're going to need them. I'm telling you, you're going to need them, all right? But what we want to do is show you how easy it is to educate people by teaching them the etymon degree that all the priests have, all right? So these are children, and I'm going to show them the basic adept degree, and you being a woman and a mother and governor by nature, you make sure I don't tell them something wrong. That's your job, all right? And then you either verify, clean up, or do what is necessary. But I want to show the babies, and then they'll be able to teach other children, because they're not going to get this in school. This is only given to European children or people who are rulers. It's not given to people who are followers. And understand, don't think it's just the Europeans. All your Negro leader, martyr leader guys got this stuff too. Because 90% of them are 32-degree Masons. So don't let them fool you just because they don't say, it's the devil. Yeah, they keep you away from it. You understand? Now, this is what occurs. So basically with children, you can take like an egg carton, cut 4 pieces off, and then you put 8 parts of speech in each basket, and you start the children on power numbers, 3, 5, and 7, according to the age. Like when they're maybe 2 or 3, 2 and 3, you give them basic words. And you give them the dictionaries, and you always have clean water around, do the libation and everything, clean water, and you train them properly. And you always have good light, etc., make sure there's no stress, and you never begin to study without dictionaries on your desk adjacent to whatever other discipline you have. So there's no scholar that sits down with one book. Are we clear? What I just say, Mama? When you're studying, you never sit down with one book. Say if I have a book on geometry. So I got a book on geometry, the subject matter for the moment, right? You got to have an etymology dictionary there. You got to have a Latin to English dictionary, Hebrew to Latin dictionary, and a heritage dictionary all together, available. Not going to the shelf to get it. It's supposed to be on your desk. That's standard. Are we clear? Are we clear? So if you build that in your babies now, by the time they get to college, they'll be bored to death. Because they'll already recognize that these people ain't teaching them nothing. Because this is 3rd grade degree that I'm giving them right now. So keep this in mind. I'm giving them 3rd grade etymon. 3rd grade. All right. So the first thing is done. When you're looking up a word, so look up black as an example. Now hold these together. Hold the book together. Now you know that both Europeans and Asiatics have been training our people that they're black people. And they insist on saying that, right? Now, I'm going to give you proof of why Europeans laugh all the way to the bank, say don't worry about them because they can't read. And they know that overseers are doing the rest of the work for them. So look up the word black. And I'm going to show you a rule, the etymon rule. I'm going to let them go through a little experiment that I always do. This is because it becomes yours. Like if you tell somebody something, oh, that's interesting, but, that brother said this. But if you show them and let them go through it, it becomes their own. That's how they're supposed to be taught. They're not supposed to be followers. They're supposed to be taught. They're supposed to be able to come back to the teacher and deliver something on their own merit. Are we clear? True education is based on merit, not followership. All right, you found it? Now, I'm going to show you how they're trained in school. It's almost automatic.
I have to stop that part there for the follow-up from the other video I have.
Read the definition. Now watch this, you all.
Being of darkest arch.
All right, stop. Do it again. Go ahead.
Being of darkest honor.
Now, I want you to pay attention to this too, right? Because this is very important. And this is one of the reasons why the Europeans have fun referring to adult Asiatics that are called black as boys and girls, because they don't know the rules. So let's talk the rules, right, y'all? All right, now, look at this baby. Read that again.
I'm going to let him fill up with finishing with teaching this mother and these 2 kids, and then I'm going to go to the part the other video where it's the reference point to what he said just now.
Yeah. And I want you to pay attention to what I'm going to point out to you. Go ahead. And I let him do it 3 times, and you pay attention to this, all right?
Being of darkest.
Now, I'm going to show you something. You see this? You see this, mother? You see that right there? Right there, it's in italics, right after the word, isn't it? Why is it in italics? Because it's emphasizing, isn't it? And what does that italics point to? What is the part of speech or the matrix of that word? There it is, clear as day. It's an adjective. This is what all scholars are trained in etymology. You do not go into your linear entries knowing that sociologists have introduced connotative linguistics for social controls. So the first thing you do is separate the wheat from the chaff. The first thing you do, you plug the word in its proper matrix. It's an adjective. So even a child in the 2nd and 3rd grade knows as an adjective describes, does not identify, therefore cannot be any human being's identity without even going into the entries. See how simple that is, you all? All scholars are trained with that, because the first thing you do is plug it in its proper matrix. Because you must separate the connotation from the denotation. The denotation relates to the etymon. The connotation is fad or social engineering. It's not a secret. So automatically, before we go into those entries, we already know that when it's applied to people, it is doing what? It is used as either social engineering or branding. So a scholar immediately knows that black, when applied to natural people, is a brand without even going into the entry. That quickly. That's the difference between a scholar and the students. That's what makes the imam and makes the others the bill-paying believers. That's what makes the PhD the professor and the others paying them ridiculous over and over again sessions of stuff they can learn overnight if they were taught the rules. So if you teach the rules, they can't justify all these years and years and years in these semesters. Do you understand?
You understand that, ladies and gentlemen? He just broke that down. He just broke that down. Now, I gotta go fast forward with this, because this is important. I hate commercials. I do hate commercials, especially when I want to apply a point. So we're gonna go right here, right now. Going right here.
Side probably shooting the motherfuckers with him.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have it in you to follow an intelligent black woman with a master plan? Would you follow a woman that had a master plan?
Would I?
And she was intelligent as well.
Why not? Why not?
That's what I'm talking about. Because a lot of brothers I ask this question, they say they would never follow a woman.
If a woman has the truth, and she tells you, yo, nigga, don't run across the street right now because the bus is coming, and you caught up in some ism-schism, and you run across the motherfucking street anyway, and
I'm not getting the right one.
That's going to show your level of your understanding.
Hold on a minute. Trying to find the part that I'm looking for. Even the one I'm looking. They probably deleted that video. A lot of people were upset with that, probably. Trying to find the one I'm looking for. Trying to find the one I'm looking for. What?
I'm telling our listeners, right? Remains. Hold on, say that again. Some of the oldest human remains of the human being, right? Is in Uganda and Kenya and Ethiopia, right? And so that you are
Where is it?
To the 600,000 or something, okay? Keywords and phrases mixed.
Where is
He's
he?
an American, he's an American, so why can't a white man play him?
Hey, the reason why I'm saying
Don't affect me.
the reason why, hold on, brother.
Moral, ethical.
I can't even find
Who
him.
was that? Who did black? You gotta go, right? But when you look at European populations today, right?
I don't even see him. It's not the one I'm looking for.
Black. She ain't black. That's a white woman. Her father, right? Her father is Ptolemy. But you understand what I'm saying? But we grow up thinking that she's black. But when we look at the records, history.
Damn it. Can't find it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This one's not even here. I'll find it right now. There it is. That's the one I'm looking for.
Yes, they're amalgamated. Everyone is amalgamated.
Here's the one. Sorry about that, peeps. Go right here. This is where it gets heated.
Yeah, go ahead, say what you was gonna say.
You already know why the post.
Go right to this. Skip
Shut
the-
that up, but he do get it in. I did say that, and I text you on there. We go back too far, but I said I had to commend you, dude, for doing that. I mean,
Thank you for coming by, my brother. Thank you for bringing the brother by. It's a pleasure to see my brother. He's been at the Sarnetta Studios. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the people about what's going on. What you up to, brother?
Well, basically, let's look at it like this. The Pope
This
is
brother's
ending.
Dr. Reggie. He respect you. He got mad love for you.
All right, family.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you was gonna say.
You already know why the Pope's ending the doctrine of discovery. And with the ending of the doctrine of discovery, he's also exposing COINTELPRO operatives amongst us who've been working with them all these years. And that's really the truth.
Talk to us about the thing that's going on in where? Spain or Paris? Talk to us about that. What's going on with the Paris situation? And how do that affect us, if it do?
Well, everything affects us because the Inquisition operations that has been working on the planet, what is actually happening is that France, being one of the major colonial powers that has been occupying and raping Africa, by them doing that, they've destabilized Africa and what they call the Middle East, etc., Asia Minor. And so what's happening is that people are coming back up there and saying, give us some of our shit back. That's really what they're saying.
Brother Sabir Bey,
Look at really.
what's going on, brother? I've been watching you all over the internet. You bringing in people. You doing this work, brother, on your radio show as well. What's new for Sabir Bey coming up this new year coming up, brother?
just the
I can tell you right now, the guy that's ready to bait him was the kind of person who was talking about in the previous clip I played for you. The one I was hunting for. So, get ready. This guy's about to get heated. Because he can't even win the debate.
Yo, we actually got a documentary coming out. We got a documentary
Not
coming
this
out,
guy.
Out of Darkness. I don't know if you saw. Oh, it's gonna be off the hook. We just did a couple premieres.
What's that about?
It's about hip hop, about the Moors, Africa. You got Umar Johnson, Tim Wise, Anthony Browder, Atlantis Browder, Taj, myself, James Smalls, Booker T. Everybody's in it. There's like an all-star cast. And I'm gonna tell you, if anybody saw Hidden Colors, everybody, we did reviews, and everybody who saw Out of Darkness, they love it, dude. They like that. Ask Kaba about it. Kaba says it deserves an award. So,
Okay, so you brothers know, and Elder Tariq Bey, you're an elder, so I don't even, I have a lot of respect for your work, right? For the younger Moors, right? We're working on a debate to deal with the Empire of Morocco and what they believe they know or what is real. Now, I'm following Sarnetta, right? I feel, Brother Sabir, that the Moroccan Empire, right, is key and crucial, right, to the transatlantic slave trade, and that if there was no Morocco, right, there would not have been a transatlantic slave trade.
First slavery came from us. We helped Europeans with slavery.
Yes.
You got to know the real history. Slave comes from Slovakia. And one of the things that you find problematic with our people, when they go into their history, they want to take the good and ignore the negative.
Exactly.
We got a lot of work to do, but we held them to slavery first. So,
but did we also, in Morocco, as Moroccans, right? As Morocco, well, I'm talking about the Morocco in Africa.
No, that's,
I'm talking about I understand. That kingdom of Morocco, I am saying that kingdom of Morocco broke the codes and first began enslaving Africans.
Let me say this real quick, and I say this on my show. Look at the 21st century. It's nothing different than we did back then. We're selling each other out here right now to this day. I don't care if it's from a job, we're shooting, we're killing each other. It's the same thing happened back then. You can't blame everybody for what you have done. You follow me? So when we say, well, we was involved in slavery, we always involved in slavery. We still deal with slavery to this day. It's factual. That's all I'm saying.
Brother Sabir, all we're saying is, and we're not being defensive, can we talk about exactly what happened? Right, without generalizing and saying we all was participating in this.
I can't say that because I was not there. I wasn't there, right? But I'm here. When I got shot 5 times, it was a brother look like you and I.
Right.
So what I'm saying to you is, let's look at today, because we were not back there. So we can give our opinions and our beliefs on it, but is it factual? The fact of the matter is that we're doing it today. Let's fix today. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I don't know what happened back then. Like Todd just said, if we take the good and the bad, we enslaved Europeans first too. But we did. I agree. We did enslave each other. We did. But the Moors is not just Morocco. It's Senegal, Mali, all that. They were all still Moors. It didn't matter. So no matter where you were at.
They're all Africans. You know what? The other interesting thing that I find with people in the name of scholarship, I'm saying that exactly. Looked at Moors as if it's some little club over here. Everybody of Asiatic African descent are Moors, period. Including Europeans who are amalgamated Moors, which indicates these people don't know their history. And we keep trying to go into history with this self-righteousness that does not exist with us. You know what I mean? We did great things and we did terrible things, which is why we're in the condition we're in today.
Elder Tashri Bey, were the Umayyads, the Arab invaders, were they Moors?
Yes, they're amalgamated. Everyone is amalgamated. When you look at the world, if you talk to people who really know human history, including Europeans, they will tell you the whole human family came from the African woman, the great Moabitess. Yes. And for us to keep pretending that, the different nation states of people are totally different is totally corrupted.
And you're saying that all of these people...
I'm just noting genetic facts. I'm not really I don't deal with belief systems too much. Most people that come with this stuff usually express a lot of their emotions, their opinions, but upon examination, they have limited scholarship. They really, and so what you find is people are always debating instead of presenting facts. Meaning that if I ask this brother here, how much is 2 and 2, good brother? Sis, how much is 2 and 2? If you ask a Chinese how much is 2 and 2, what's he most likely going to say? Even if it needs interpretation. So it is with the human family on the planet.
That's all it is.
Now, is that enough for us to address and fix what's happening today if we don't have an accurate understanding of what actually happened in history? Because there are a lot of people generalizing.
This is the problem. If you don't know the past, if you don't acknowledge the past and the flaws, Because we keep trying to play this self-righteous stuff. If you pay attention to our people, as soon as they get into this so-called fake spirituality, they're always trying to play self-righteous, like they know God, Jesus, Allah, nobody else does type things. You understand? All you got to do is look at what we have done to our own children with our BS and our fake Afrocentricity and our fake everything. The manifest is what you see all around you. Now, the real deal is, let me ask you a question. Are you aware of Horace Greeley? Horace Greeley, the New York tycoon, newspaper here. All right, now let me say this.
He was in a movie. They had a scene of him in the movie The Gangs of New York. Okay, that's who that guy is.
Okay.
Now, this is what I have to say. Now, this brother, this sister, these are our generations after us. For us to have these kind of discussions on our condition, and our people don't even know Horace Greeley, which is the policy that operates here on our people, including the Christian Black Codes, etc., the Whiggamore Party, all of your Europeans that pretty much operate all of the institutions here are cottonwigs. These people don't even know this. They're going to talk about Kemet 2,000 years ago, talk about Jesus, Muhammad, etc. They're not even up on what's happening today. Even like when we're talking, they say, speaking of Morocco, Morocco over there, you're standing on Morocco. That's our biggest problem.
Is that a belief? Is that a belief to say that we're actually standing on Morocco,
Yes,
right?
that's fact.
On what basis of fact do you have? I'm not here to debate you, but I'm not clear about that, right? What basis of fact do you have to say that using that word base, right?
Word base.
Of Morocco. Morocco is.
You gotta understand etymology now. Explain
Right.
to her etymology.
Explain to me. Well,
all right,
explain to the
let-
listeners,
no,
not
no,
to me,
all right.
because to say that this is Morocco seems to me belief more than anything else.
Well, I can understand what you're saying. Just like if you say to a child, 2 and 2 is 4, and the child says, it seems to me that that's belief. The same thing with people that are not scholars. Now, let me give you a signal. Knowing that our people, half of our so-called leaders are COINTELPRO operatives, which means they're paid off to keep promoting this black thing and to disgrace this information rather than really raise people. That's number one. First signal of a COINTELPRO operative. Number two, I suggest, if you want to know, write to the Library of Congress. Deal with Clocks of Destiny 1 and 2 with the certificates and get the information from the Library of Congress on Morocco here, etc. And then we can talk. Because you, yes, exactly. That's why it's registered in the Library of Congress. Why is it registered in the Library of Congress? Because everybody knows that our people claim to be scholars know this information. But what they do, rather than actually raise the people, they actually try to create what you call schismata, divisions, arguments, no unity. They claim unity and do everything to the contrary without scholarship. If you ask them anything about unum sanctum, dum diversas, Romanus Pontifex, the doctrine of discovery, the policies that are actually operating in every institution here that function against our people, they have no knowledge. But they're going to tell you about Africa.
Wow. This guy verbally blasted him. And the guy's teacher at the end, the guy that was debating, the highly intelligent teacher you heard from the first half, I can tell you, this man is a smart man that we heard from the first half to the second half. The guy that was debating him, you don't see his body language in the audio, but he's getting frustrated. But when you carry it out all the way to the end and watch it to the end, he starts standing behind his teacher, who patiently waited for his minion to do the work, for him to just start in. So he didn't put the teacher on the spot like the video promotes. No, he didn't. He waited for his minion to go in there and verbally jack himself off to the amusement of a world that can see it. And this teacher took it. And to the point to the end where this other teacher, who got speaking after his minion was done, turned around and got tired of it and left. I wouldn't stand around after trying to prove my point for so long. He proved his point. He knew what he was saying. How much more articulate can you expect someone to be? And then when he called him a co-intel operative or something, let's rewind that part. First sign of the what? Let's hear that again.
And get the information from the Library of Congress.
No, not that part. Right.
On Morocco here, etc.
Morocco, right? On what basis of fact do you have?
I gotta hear this again.
But I'm not clear about that, right? What basis of fact did you have to say that using that word base, right?
Word base.
Of Morocco. Morocco is.
You gotta understand etymology now. Explain
Right.
to what etymology
Explain to me. Well, explain to the listeners,
no,
not
no,
to me,
all right.
because to say that this is Morocco seems to me
know what you're saying.
belief more than anything else.
Well, I can understand what you're saying. Just like if you say to a child, 2 and 2 is 4, and the child says, it seems to me that that's belief. The same thing with people that are not scholars. Now, let me give you a signal. Knowing that our people, half of our so-called leaders are COINTELPRO operatives, which means they're paid off to keep promoting this black thing and to disgrace this information rather than really raise people. That's number one. First signal of a COINTELPRO operative. Number two, I suggest if you want to know, write to the Library of Congress. Deal with Clocks of Destiny 1 and 2 with the certificates and get the information from the Library of Congress on Morocco here, etc. And then we can talk. Because
see, he gives him the information, tells him how to go about it. I'm not going to fast forward to the end. I'm not going to ruin it. But man, he articulately calls him out. He missed it. He practically called the guy, hey, I know you're an insider. He said, I know you're an insider in so many words, and the guy missed it. I caught that the first time I saw the video. Oh, first sign of the fact that I know you're just doing this to divide the black community. That's what the guy said. And he stood there and held the microphone for him so he could say it. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. It don't get no better than that. This guy is awesome, and he's hated for being awesome by people that just are set out to stop him from uniting a nation. So you know what? I think that just about ends the show, because I don't think it gets any better than to let you know we are one people. Racism is a flame that was started. I don't care who started it now. It's time to extinguish it. It's over. Anyone who disagrees, here's my outro, as well as my intro. Eastside Radio. Thank you very much.
What is inside of me, I'll never come back here again, I'll surrender. So I know that you hate me. Since the day I was born, you never loved me. You try to pull me down and hate me. 'Cause Father has chosen me, he loved me. I never trusted you. My hands are tied, I don't know what to do. Why don't you leave us alone, cause we no longer help you. I saw on the news, you did what you have done. Still ain't no solution, they bring you down. What's up, man? Wanting to get a job and try to live your life as a normal person. Brother, I am with you through all my life, but you didn't answer to the questions why and how. And now
And I digress. I should have not have said what I said there. True people are not black nor white. People are people. So I'm terribly sorry for saying it like that, just briefly regarding him letting him know that he was who he was, and I should have, I'm terribly sorry for how I said that. It was wrong, but you know, some habits are not meant to be had. That's why I am adamant and just very much letting myself know as well as you know. We are a people, regardless of color. So yes, some speech patterns, regardless of the fact that even though they're not meant to be racist, when you divide a people as a class by color, it is by nature racist. And that's what this man was pointing out. And so I just caught that before I ended the show. So on that note, I apologize for that. He wasn't attempting to divide a certain color. He was attempting to divide a people by being the first sign of an operative, a paid operative. And I believe that's what that guy was doing. So, my sincere apologies to our people, for we are all one people. And I gotta stop and let myself be free. Because you know what? If I truly believe that we are one people, the first thing I want to do is take colors regarding people out of my vocabulary. That's a commitment I want to long to make. I just want to say, hey. And when I describe someone, I want to describe them as the person they are. The conduct of their character. Regardless of what they actually physically appear. It's not, so what? It's not like I'm trying to have someone arrested. You better have done something wrong to it and really deserved it. Other than that, I don't know whether or not you did anything wrong. That goes for anybody. A lot of people are trying to have people arrested for a lot of dumb things. That gets agitated, messed up. There's a narrative out there that the justice system is fair. It's only because people are there and need to be there. That's not true. I covered last week on the cop in Oklahoma City over that. Daniel Holtzcloth. Let's not forget him. And why we allow racism into our lives when we allow these categories and colors and the description of peoples into our lives. We feed evil within ourselves. So from now on, I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to say, oh yeah, I have this friend, he's white. No, because I think that feeds the bad narrative of what even soft or hard or harsh, beyond all things. Racism was invented by a dark source, and I don't care who it is or who did it. It needs to end. Now I think this generation, have the power to do it. And I think it's about time we make it a thing of the past.
Tell me all about a mother and the blood I saw your knife. Hate me since the day I was born. You never loved me. You tried to pull me down. Hate me 'cause Father has chosen me. Love me. I never trusted you. It's last time I'll be back here again, won't surrender. 'Cause I know you can hate me. Since the day I was born, you never loved me. You tried to pull me down. Hate me 'cause Father has chosen me. Love me. I never trusted you. Hate me, hate me, hate me. Hate me, my enemy.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in to the last Voice of Liberty, our very own Friday night super show this Friday. And please, once again, tune in to Spence Psych, because God knows when we're going to play on it. Saturday, Sunday, or whatever time this weekend. It'll be me and Spent again. And the following Tuesday, same time, same last Voice of Liberty Network. Thank you.